say you're a potential employer and you've got 2 employees that you've narrowed it down to. You want to use every resource available to find out all the information that you can about these employees because they're going to be working for you. And you can use stuff like Google and Google their name and see if anything comes up, good or bad. And another thing that a lot of companies are using right now is like social networking sites like Facebook and LinkedIn. And let's say you go onto these 2 people's website or Facebook accounts, and one is really neat and organized, only has relevant information, doesn't have any bad pictures or like anything like that on there. And then you go on the others, and it's just full of just rude comments and nights of, or just a bunch of pictures of him just going out and getting wasted and stuff like that. I mean, in that situation, who would you choose? I think that everybody would choose the person who has the more professional Facebook page. In our current time, employers are using social networking sites more than ever to find employees, and also information about them. Everyone who uses social networking sites needs to start using their profiles more like online resumes and not a place to interact with friends, First off, you should be secure about all the information that you have out on these websites. And second, instead of using them for fun, you should use them like an online resume. If you aren't using social networking sites in this way, you might be hurting yourself, and you're definitely not helping yourself. There's a lot of benefits to be gained from using them correctly. The first thing that you need to make sure about your profile is that it's secure. Like some people I know have made separate accounts. They'll have one under like a fake name, made-up name, and that'll just be their personal one for friends and everything like that. And then they'll have another one under their real name and have it set up like it's a, like an online resume. Have it very professional, have nothing that sheds a bad light on you. Only good things on there. Another thing that you really need to do is make sure that you're familiar with the security features on these social networking sites. You need to you need to figure them out and select the level of security that you want. For someone like me, I don't have anything, no one can access any of my information unless they're personally friends of mine. They can't even like look for me in the thing. I've got to select you as the friend, But other things, if you don't have any security, anything that you write can be seen by anybody, anywhere, at any time. Make sure that you don't put too much personal information on your websites, that is accessible to everybody. That's just not a good idea with all like identity theft and everything like that. You want to keep the personal information to a minimum. Earlier this year, there were hackers that stole over 100 million users' personal information, names, and unique IDs from Facebook, and then made it a downloadable PDF file for anyone in the world to download. And those were gotten because all those people didn't have any security features on. I mean, that's just one thing that you must do. The next thing that you need to do is you really need to utilize social networking sites for the benefits that it can present instead of just using it as a connection with friends. Right now, more companies than ever are using them to either advertise for jobs opening up and then look at look at future employees and stuff like that and information about them. Or a place called JobFight. It's a social recruitment solution provider. Sends out an annual survey, and it's called the Social Recruitment Survey, and they send it out to like a bunch of major companies. And it came back with some interesting results. 72% of companies surveyed plan to invest more money in recruiting through social network sites, such as LinkedIn and Facebook and MySpace. And 80% are planning on using social networking sites to find or attract new candidates to their jobs. You need to make sure that you're very careful about anything that you write online. Anything that you write online is permanent forever. Like, it is recorded and goes anywhere for anyone to access at any time, unless your security features are up. But even with that, you don't know really what information gets out and not. Right now, many current employers check their current employees' network sites right now, and if you say, oh, like, my boss was terrible today, and like, if you talk, if you say anything bad about the company, or if you say anything bad about its customers or anything like that, and your boss reads it on the social networking site, it's grounds for people to be fired. So, in conclusion, everyone who uses a social networking site needs to be smart, you need to be careful about what information you put out there, for everyone to see, along with making sure your security settings are something that you're comfortable with. The other thing that you need to do is start setting up your profile as like it was an online resume, so that potential employers are going to be looking at. Social networking sites can be very helpful at finding jobs if you know how to use them, and they can hurt you if you are stupid.